Black Ops Narratives, Act 8, False Awakening. The explosion came after the silence. A taker burned 40 miles off the Lesser Antilles. Fire climbing the hull in slow, deliberate sheets. No secondary blast, no chaos, just controlled destruction. Like someone had planned the angle of flames. By the time the first distress call went out, the story was already forming. Satellite footage showed a clean detonation pointed near the waterline with precision, deliberate, the kind of damage that made analysts lean forward and nod. Sabotage. The tanker listed but didn't sink. Crew evacuated, no casualties. That mattered. It meant restraint, which made it worse. Reyes watched the footage in a room he hadn't been invited into. The screen replayed an explosion from 3 angles: infrared, daylight, radar reconstruction. Every cut tighter than the last. A voice narrated calmly. Explosion consistent with the shape, charge placement, entry vector unknown. Reyes stood with his hands loose at his side, eyes locked in at the frame where the fire kissed the steel. That wasn't my work, he said. No one responded. Director Evelyn sat at the far end of the room, posture unchanged. She didn't look at Reyes. She watched the people watching him. An intelligence analyst spoke next. The timing aligns with Reyes' last confirmed operational window. Another voice followed. The vessel insurer flagged anomalous telemetry patterns similar to the previous disruption. Reyes turned slightly. Patterns don't assign blame, he said. The room stayed quiet. Hart finally spoke. This isn't about blame, she said. It's about attribution. Reyes looked at her now. They're reshaping a narrative, he said. Yes, Hart replied, and it's already moving. She tapped a control and a news feed filled the screen. Unnamed security operation linked to Caribbean blast. Another outlet followed. Covert induction efforts questioned after maritime incident. The language was careful, non-accusatory, deadly. Reyes felt the shift. Not accusations, not containment. Hart stood. Your access is suspended, she said. Eventually, temporary. Reyes didn't react. Operational silence, she continued. No field movement, no communication outside approved channels. Reyes nodded once. And if this escalates, he asked. Hart met his eyes. It already has. The Port Authority blamed faulty maintenance. Insurance companies issued statements about isolated incidents. Markets dipped, then steadied. Behind closed doors, something else happened. A secure message circulated through private networks. No sender, no logo. Interference identified. Countermeasures authorized. Lena watched the data change before the news caught up. She sat in a temporary workspace, bare walls, redundant systems, no windows, the models updated in real time. Probabilities tightened like a noose. She didn't need confirmation. They're framing you, she said. Reyes stood near the door, silent. They didn't copy your signature, she continued. They approximated it, close enough to convince people who wanted to believe. Reyes nodded. Who benefits, he asked. Lena pulled up a layered map. Shipping lanes faded. Emergency terminals glowed. Financial ports paused faintly. A counterparty, she said. Not a company, a mechanism. They exist to absorb blame and redirect consequences. Insurance? Reyes asked. Beyond that, she replied. They arbitrage instability. They protect systems by sacrificing operators. Reyes absorbed it. They need a villain, he said. Yes, and I fit. Lena looked at him. They didn't choose you because you were violent, she said. They chose you because you were believable. The next move came quietly. A port Reyes had worked through in Act 1 denied clearance to his task force. No explanation. A second followed, then a third. Access shrank. Doors closed politely. Hart called once. They're forcing distance, she said. If I push back, it confirms the story. So you won't? Reyes replied. No. She said, I'll wait. Reyes understood the subtext. Waiting was a luxury he no longer had. The second incident hit 12 hours later. Not an explosion, a blackout. A coastal terminal went dark without warning. Backup systems failed. Tankers queued offshore. Civilian traffic snarled. Hospitals switched to generators. Still no casualties. Still restraint. News outlets drew lines between the incidents. Experts speculated. Former officials gave interviews. Unchecked covert operations create instabilities, one said. Reyes watched from the edge of the room. He recognized the shape of the argument. This wasn't a retaliation. It was a reassignment. Lena closed her laptop slowly. They're escalating without violence, she said. They want public pressure. Reyes looked out at the city beyond the glass. Lights flickered back on, one grid at a time. They want me exposed, he said. Yes. And what happens when I am, he asked. Lena hesitated. Then the system stabilizes, she said, at your expense. Reyes considered it. They won't stop, he said. Not now. No, Lena agreed. They're testing boundaries. Reyes turned back to her. Find me a gap, he said. Lena shook her head. There isn't one, she replied. Not yet. Reyes accepted that. Then he said, find me where they are confident. Lena's fingers froze. That's different, she said. The message came just before dawn. Encrypted, short. Asset movement confirmed. Atlantic transit. No security flag. Reyes read it once. No authorization, no oversight, no cover. He deleted the message. Hart's voice echoed in his head. Operational silence. He broke it. Not with the call, with motion. Reyes stood on the deck of a small vessel, cutting through the open water, night pressing close. No markings, no lights beyond the navigation minimums. The Atlantic stretched wide and indifferent. Ahead, a shape moved through the darkness, large, unlit, confident. Lena stood beside him, face pale in the glow of the tablet. That ship isn't on any registry, she said. Reyes watched it. They don't think anyone's watching, he said. No, Lena replied. They think the problem is contained. Reyes felt the weight of it settle. No task force, no mandate, no protection. Just truth and consequences. He adjusted his grip on the rail. They framed me, he said. Yes, Lena replied. They expected me to disappear, he said. She looked at him. Will you? She asked. Reyes watched the dark ship cut its false wake across the water. No, he said. I'll make it visible. The vessel ahead changed course slightly, not away, toward. The ocean stayed calm and the current shifted. The end, Act 7, False Awake. Thank you for listening to Black Ops Narratives. Please subscribe, like, and share.